welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
I don't have an abundance of headroom today, do I? I'm like, ow, like I feel like, bumping the top of the screen there.
Let me see if I can do something.
Yeah, we'll see what you can do with that. Hey!
Hey, how's that?
Oh, yeah, look at that. See, that's good. That's
right.
a good headroom there. There you go. It is Monday, December 19th. Today, on this day, in 1876, it was the first day of the Constantinople Conference, which resulted in agreement for political reforms in the Balkans. Look, the failure of the Ottoman government to implement the decisions of this resulted directly... Oh, what am I doing? Nobody the hell cares, right? Do you care?
I don't care.
No, nobody cares. By accident or on purpose, you're listening to I'll Learn Ya with me, Michael Buster McMahon. I am the host and creator of the show, Michael Buster McMahon. And last night, the wife was very upset with me. She caught me in bed last night with a model. She was very upset, mostly because I got the cement glue and the little plastic pieces all over the sheets. Oh, for crying
That's
out loud.
hilarious.
All right, you don't have to overdo it. And, of course, the grimace to my hamburglar, Ken Stomsky. Say hello, Kenny.
Hello, Kenny.
He saw a lady drop a $20 bill yesterday and thought, what would Jesus do? So he turned it into wine. Well, he bought wine with it. Nothing, huh? Nothing on that one?
That works for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing was stretching the truth there.
Okay. Today in the show, cool stories about great songs. Plus, it's never too early to talk about the 2023 NFL Draft, which we probably won't do because it's a bit early. So sit back, relax, and remember, Mary and Joseph. Now that was a stable relationship.
I see what you did there.
Okay, all right. I look on the screen. I don't know if this is the way it's coming across. I look really, really, really pale on the screen. I don't know if it's the hue of the TV or if I'm really coming across this ghost-like.
I think we're getting a little bit of bounce from the green wall behind you.
Okay, all right. That's okay. I mean, I still think I look adorable.
You look a hell of a lot better than me.
Okay, well.
Well, that's not saying much.
Oh, you get that long, waving blonde hair. That's tough to compete with there, Kenny. I don't think it's natural blonde, but it's still tough to compete with. I don't think, like, if are you the type that's going to fight the gray?
Why do you think it's blonde right now?
It looks blondish.
Well, when I hit 40s, the gray started to come in.
Oh, okay.
And then
Really?
the Rona hit, and I started to look at myself in the mirror more often because I'm home, and the grays were just getting out of control. So I got that just for men, gray be gone, whatever, and it just looked horrible and just so fake and not real. So I'm like, it's not going to work for me. So I actually got real hair coloring, and this is what I ended up with.
I don't have it in the about 10 years ago. Some of the beard turned a little bit gray, but I think it makes me look a little distinguished. But I don't think I'll fight it when it happens. The one thing I wish I could fight is the expanding forehead.
Yeah, well, you're already called for. You have somebody to go home to. I have to.
Oh, I see. What you're saying.
I have to. What was it called? I have to catfish myself.
Well, good luck on that. Is that what you want? Would you like that?
No, I'm good with what I'm doing.
There's advantages and disadvantages to every lifestyle that you can possibly have.
No woman, no children, no pets, no plants. I can, if I want to go out to, let's say, Vegas tomorrow, I could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of, can you believe Pete went without us?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I found out last week that he was going to Vegas.
Just last week you found out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he said he wasn't going to be available to the show, and I didn't have a follow-up question because I'm like, oh, okay. I just figured, something was going on because, he's a busy guy with stuff. And he said that he was going to see if you could do the show, and if not, we were going to have this intern, Emily, which I thought would have been an interesting thing to have a female to bounce stuff off of.
Right.
But no, I was glad to hear that you were.
She's kind of quiet. She just does her thing.
She does her thing?
Yeah.
I think
You'd be talking to yourself.
I think I've met Emily.
Yeah.
But I could not, if the police needed a sketch of her for, because she'd committed a crime, I'd be zero help. I could not tell you anything about her.
Yeah. She has long hair.
Okay.
Yep.
So, well.
Does that help?
So, I mean, if Emily wanted to commit a crime and I'm the only witness, she's going to get off scot-free. Yeah. So.
Good for her.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, so I probably met her, right? I'm more than likely I have met her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's not what we do on the show. We don't just don't gab. We play. What do we do?
We play music.
That's right.
And we learn stuff.
We learn stuff. Did you learn something last time you were here?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear that. Hopefully you learned something today. We got about half a dozen Christmas songs today. I'm not a big fan of getting overwhelmed by Christmas music, but it's like a week now before Christmas, so I'm okay with Christmas music now. I don't want to hear it in November. I certainly, if I owned a radio station, I would not change the format of my radio station for 2 months of the year and switch. I don't understand that, where a station goes completely 24/7 Christmas music. I'm like, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and that's the only station that my doctor's office has on. So, yeah, for 2 months.
And I had to be chastised for my public criticism of that because I actually used to work at that radio station.
Okay, so we're talking about the same one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was told, you might not want to do that. I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Mm-hmm. Like at work, thank God, we've been playing Christmas music since, at the end of Thanksgiving, but we do every other one. I'm like, all right, that seems like a fair compromise. And I'm sure as I go to work this week, it may be all Christmas music, but to me that seems like it. So yeah, we've got a couple, and
at least you picked a couple of good ones.
Yeah, I said that. Well, thank you very much. Including a little bit later on the show, I don't know why I do this, but there's a Christmas song that makes me cry, and I'm going to be playing that. So.
I think it might be the same one for me.
Okay.
It's a very pretty song.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
But the lyrics are like dark.
It gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one that doesn't make me cry. It's a little bit of we've been starting to do this on the show. It's kind of cool, like a this day in history. Mm-hmm. So 2014, it was Darlene Loves sings this song on the David Letterman show for the final time, this day in history in 2014, because the host announced his retirement. And Love first performed it in 1986, and he thought it'd be cool to have her come in and sing the song. And the audience went such nuts, and it got such positive feedback. He said, I'm going to do this every year. So for like almost 30 years, she would come on the David Letterman show, and she would sing her song. They're written by Ellie Greenwich and Jeff Berry, which I think every week we either have a song written by Ellie Greenwich and Jeff Berry or the Holland Dozier Holland team. I think it's almost inevitable that I don't think you can have a show without one of those songs that are written by some of those songwriting giants. Or Carole King. Actually, we have a Carole King written song on here today. So, yeah. So here's Darlene Love doing Christmas. Baby, please come home. 89.5 WSKB.
One of our underwriters here at WSKB's Community Radio is Carson Center for Health and Human Services, a nonprofit organization located at 20 Broad Street in Westfield. They provided behavioral health and rehabilitation services in communities throughout Western Massachusetts since 1963. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, families, and couples. You can find them on the web at carsoncenter.org or at 413-572-4132.
Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
In the shuffling madness of the locomotive breath runs the all-time loser headlong to his death. Oh, it feels the piston scraping, steam breaking on his brow. Old Charlie stole the handle, and the train didn't want to stop going. No, it could slow down. Oh, he sees his children jumping off the stations one by one. His woman and his best friend in bed and having fun. Oh, he's calling down the corridor on his hands and knees. Old Charlie stole the handle, and the train didn't want to stop going. No, it could slow down. Yeah. He hears the silence howling, catches angels as they fall, and the all-time winner has got him by the balls. Oh, he picks up Gideon's Bible, open at page 1. I thank God he stole the handle, and the train didn't want to stop going. No, it could slow down. 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 No, it could slow down.
Yeah, so when the band wrote that song, they deliberately didn't want to like make any political statements or anything, but basically they were kind of concerned about the potential overpopulation of the planet, and they figured it was like a locomotive speeding down. Now this song is from the 70s. I wonder what they think about the population numbers now in 2020. The band's name, of course, is Jethro Tull, named after an agriculturist. And the funny thing is, when they were touring, their manager gave them all kinds of different names, and none of them really stuck. And one night they show up at this pub, and they're looking and like, oh, I guess we're not playing tonight. And the manager's like, no, you're Jethro Tull. Like, oh, you changed your name again? He's like, yeah. And it went really, really great that night, and they were invited back and everything. And so they said, well, we should probably keep this name. And maybe we found our name, Jethro Tull. But yeah, Jethro Tull is it's not a member of the band. Ian Anderson. He was of course, he wrote that piece. You're like, hey, the flute is a heavy metal instrument.
Right, it was kind of like the Leonard Skinner story. Leonard Skinner is actually a person, but he happened to have been a gym teacher for some of the members of the band.
Yep. Now, if you had a band, what would you name it?
Silent Disturbance.
And you think that's available?
Probably not.
That's a problem. I've had lots of friends who've had bands, and eventually they get letters from lawyers saying, please stop calling yourself this. That's why it always amazes me when a band like, say, Train came on the scene, a little while ago. Like, how the hell was that available? Mm-hmm. Like, that was available?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. What about car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or boat.
Well,
Ship.
Every once in a while, I'll see a band name. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm surprised. So that's why my band, maybe Buddy Sorrell's 5-man trio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that one's been copyrighted.
I'm pretty sure that's available.
Yeah.
Unless someone wants to be a jerk and has gone out and But
Don't give me any ideas,
but
Buster.
I'm not forming a band anytime soon. So,
All right.
you know.
Save my money?
Yeah. I mean, I like to picture myself with a band. I love doing the karaoke. We can do karaoke together sometime. I can't believe we've never done that yet.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah, in Vegas.
And Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'd have some fun in Vegas there. All right, so now this is kind of cool. This band recorded this song in one take, and they had no choice because they won a talent contest at their college, and the prize was you get to record a song. And apparently you only, big prize, they only gave you about 5 minutes to record your song. So out of necessity, they had to record it in one take, and thankfully it stuck, and it became a hit. In fact, I'm willing to bet money, I'm quite certain on this statement, it is their biggest hit. Here's the Zombies, and She's Not There, 89.5 WSKB.
Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied. Well, no one told me about her, how many people cried. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. Well, no one told me about her. What could I do? Well, no one told me about her, though they all knew. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
The Alan Parsons Project. I sing a version of that song at work, except I sing it as "Don't Bother Me."
Oh yeah. Oh, just leave that on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the video for that took 23 days to film, and it used a 40-man animation team and combined traditional cell animation, stop motion animation, and even claymation. The final cost topped about $50,000 back then, which that's a lot of money.
That was a lot of coin back then.
Yeah, it's a video. Like when I was looking up the song, I'm like, all right, I don't remember this video. I better look it up. And I looked at it. I'm like, okay, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't remember it now. I'm going to have to look.
Yeah,
it up.
you have to look it up. It's pretty cool. It's sort of like a noir type story going on there.
A little bit of fantasy going on there.
Yeah, a little bit. It's interesting. Alan Parsons Project. That was a good band.
Yeah,
I liked a lot of their stuff. A lot of times you'll hear some of their other hits, but you don't hear that one too often. So this song, now this performance of Blue Christmas is the only footage that exists of Elvis singing a Christmas song. He did a couple of them, but before he comes out, he sings that this is his favorite Christmas song ever, and he wanted to record it. And it has since been, of course, somebody did it before him. I can't remember who it was, but after him, Ringo Starr, Celine Dion, the Beach Boys, Sheryl Crow, Brooks and Dunn, Vince Gill, Face to Face, Bette Midler, Ann Wilson, one of my favorite versions, and by Ann Wilson. But we're gonna play the Elvis version, and even famously done by Porky Pig, if you remember that one.
Yes,
Yep.
that came up when I went looking for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to eschew the Porky Pig version and the Ann Wilson version, which I absolutely love, because I could listen to Ann Wilson just sing me the phone book. Just open up the book and just start singing anything, you know.
Nancy had a set of pipes too.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yes, they're very, very talented. If you ever get the chance to see them, it's a fun show. It's an absolute... and I always love, because I've said this story before, they get letters all the time like, oh my gosh, girls, the ballads are so pretty, but what's with the rockers? And then they'll get letters, man, you girls rock. Why do you waste time with these ballads?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Here is Elvis Presley doing probably my favorite Christmas song, Blue Christmas, 89.5 WSKB.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, but I have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, but I have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
I love you.
Babe, I love you so. I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. So please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away. Please don't go. Don't go. I'm begging you to stay. If you leave, at least in my lifetime, I've had one dream come true. I was blessed to be loved by someone as wonderful as you. So please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away. Please don't go. Don't go. I'm begging you to stay. Hey, hey, hey. Babe, I love you so. I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. So please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away. Hey, hey, hey. I need your love. I'm down on my knees, begging, please, 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 don't go. Don't you hear me, baby? Don't leave me down. Oh, no, 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 no. Please don't go. I want you to know that I love you so. Please don't leave me, baby. Please don't go.
KC and the Sunshine Band, now they were realizing that they may have a potential problem because they were turning out a bunch of hits and everything, but they're all up-tempo, dance club songs and everything, and they're like, can we continue to keep doing this? Maybe we should try something a little different. Like, well, what about slow songs? No. Slow songs are boring. But basically, they pretty much that was the only
They nailed it.
where they can go. So they said, all right, well, let's do a slow song. Let me do a game with you here, Kenny, that Peter is just absolutely horrible at. I mean, you would think it would be almost a 50-50 game, but Peter was like 1 for 13. Did that song go number one or not?
I don't think it did.
You're wrong. It did go number one, so they were rewarded. But here's the peculiar thing about that song going number one. You don't hear that song ever. You know, most number one songs from like the 80s and stuff, like you'll hear like on nostalgia shows and everything. But you don't, that song's like disappeared. You never hear that song.
No.
You know what? Here's a song from the 80s that I absolutely love. Okay, you never hear it, ever. And it wasn't a huge hit. It was a hit, but it wasn't a huge hit. The one with Linda Ronstadt and the Dirt Band, American Dream.
All right.
Yeah. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I haven't heard it in probably 30 years.
What? Well, how come nobody ever plays that song?
Right.
You know, and I guess we're guilty because we're not playing it today. Maybe if I think of it, I'll play it next show. So we're going to do another This Day in History. In 1985, Johnny Paycheck. Here's another song I like to sing at work. Johnny Paycheck is drinking at a bar in Ohio when two guys recognize him. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Johnny Paycheck!" So they sit near him and they're talking and you know they're basically saying, "Wow, you know, we really like your song. It's too bad you're a one-hit wonder and everything." And eventually, the conversation takes a turn at some point because Johnny Paycheck pulls out a gun and shoots one of them. And it grazes him. And he got really mad. They offered him a meal of deer meat and turtle soup. And he's like, you know, what do you think? I'm a country hick? You know, why are you offering me this stuff? And it got really heated. And Johnny Paycheck seemed like he was an angry man.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So he is convicted and for shooting a guy and just grazing him. He only got 22 months in jail. You think it would be a little bit higher, but... there's an angry man. Here's Johnny Paycheck and the song that I do like to sing at work very much. Take This Job and Shove It. 89.5 WSKB.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. A woman done left and took all the reason I was working for. You better not try to stand in my way as I'm walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. I've been working in this factory for now 15 years. All this time I watched my woman drowning in a pool of tears. And I've seen a lot of good folk die, had a lot of bills to pay. I'd give the shirt right off of my back if I had the guts to say, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. My woman done left and took all the reason I was working for. You better not try to stand in my way as I'm walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Well, that foreman, he's a regular dog. The line boss, he's a fool. Got a brand new flat top haircut. Lord, he thinks he's cool. One of these days I'm gonna blow my top, and that sucker, he's gonna pay. Lord, I can't wait to see their faces when I get the nerve to say, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. My woman done left and took all the reason I was working for. You better not try to stand in my way as I'm walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Take this job and shove it.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
It's gonna take some time this time to get myself in shape. I really fell out of line this time. I really missed the gate. The birds on the telephone likes time are crying out to me. Next time, and I won't be so blind next time, and I'll find some harmony. But it's going to take some time this time, and I can't make demands. But like the young trees in the winter time, I'll learn how to bend. After all the tears we spent, how could we make amends? So it's one more round for experience, and I'm on the road again. And it's going to take some time this time, and I can't make demands. I'll learn how to bend. It's gonna take some time this time, no matter what I plan. But like the young trees in the winter time, I'll learn how to bend. After all the tears we've spent, how could we make amends? So it's one more round for experience, and I'm on the road again. And it's going to take some time this time.
It's tough for me to hear a Carpenter song and just think, what a waste. You know, Karen Carpenter, beautiful voice, and just anorexia. You're winning the war against anorexia, right?
I am losing weight, however.
I have noticed that. Nice job.
Thank you.
You look good. So Richard Carpenter, her brother, basically they needed to come up with like another song, and they decided they were going to go the remake version. So they were like, had a stack of like 7-inch records, and they're just going after, and it's like crap, and they came across big surprise that was written by Carole King. It has that Carole King feel to it, and he heard that, he's like, this is the one, yeah, and it became a hit, went to like number 12, and when Carole King heard the final version, with the strings and the flute and everything, she's like, she was almost embarrassed. She's like, they made my version seem like a demo.
I wouldn't
That's a
know
huge compliment.
because it's just a genre that I've never really cared for. You know, like the singer-songwriter thing, the James Taylor, the Carpenters. I just never that genre never really jived with me.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, perhaps it's because that's all I heard on the PA when I was 14 years old, working at ShopRite on Main Street.
Oh man, were you a bag boy?
I was a service clerk.
Yeah, my first job was a bag boy, and then I got promoted to a cashier. And man, I was fast.
Yeah, we had to key everything in back then. There was no scanning anything.
Yeah. People would say, "Oh, well, scanners are faster." I'm like, "Bull." I said, "You know what? I'll give it this. They're more accurate. I will make a mistake.
Accurate.
I'll make a mistake once in a while, but no, the scanners are not faster. Not faster than me. I'm probably lost a step since that was 1980. 6, so I probably lost a step
Yeah,
or a finger.
I don't know the last time I actually looked at a numeric keypad when I used it.
So now Tom Petty was touring with the Jay Giles band when they came up with this song, and he's like, you know what? I kind of, just hanging out with him, I kind of subconsciously, I think, wrote a Jay Giles song. And in fact, I'm going to offer it to the band because, it's not our style. We're probably not going to do it. And the Jay Giles band were like, well, you know what? Our album that we're putting together, it's pretty much full. And you're going to confuse the process. We're going to, no, but that's okay. So Tom Petty decided to keep it, and it became a pretty big hit for them. Here's Don't Do Me Like That. Tom Petty doing a Jay Giles type song. 89.5 WSKB.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every 4th Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSK.
Yeah, I think that one's gonna last, and I don't want to hear anybody else do it. That's hers. That's why I say if Dean Martin sung the Christmas song, no one else should do it. This is her song. Let her keep it. Nobody remake it. It's perfect the way it is. Song climbed to number 3 in the second week. It jumped up immediately. Went to number 3. And when it did that, it broke a record for a British female solo artist. She achieved 8 British top 5 hits. She broke Olivia Newton-John's record. And she's like, it was kind of weird because when you do this, you have to record a song like this in like April. So it'd be ready for Christmas. And she goes, Britain is not really a snowy type place anyway. It's more rainy. And she's like, it was just really weird to try to get into the Christmas mood in April. But she listened to dozens of Christmas records, and she's like, it really kind of brightened myself.
What was that number 3 British charts or Billboard?
British.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a hit over here too, but I think it was a much bigger hit over in Britain.
Mhm.
I only heard it like maybe 2 years ago. We started playing it at work, and I'm like, that's a great little catchy little tune.
When I loaded it up last night, to be honest, first time I've heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a catchy little tune. It's funny because she said she had the idea of One More Sleep because that's the way kids think, you know. And I remember my daughter used to talk like that too when she was little. And it was funny. Like I was dating a girl long distance, and she had said something like that to me on the phone. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you know," she's like, "I'll see you next week. I feel like a little kid waiting for Christmas." And I thought that was one of the nicest things, you know, a girl ever said to me. And like when I did see her, I'm like, "Hey, Merry Christmas."
Mm-hmm.
So that was cute. Yeah, I like that song. I like Johnny Rivers too. Although, if I like Johnny Rivers, if I met him personally, I'm hearing that I would not like him. There's a long list of people that just don't like him personally. I guess he's like Elvis. Actually thought about maybe hiring somebody to like take him out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know some of the stories, but it just seems like everybody did not like this guy.
So forget about it.
When he wanted to do this song, it made his record company mad because like no. He's like, don't mess with your formula. He's like, look, I'm tired of all these upbeat go-go sounds. I want to come up with something a little different. And they're like, why would you tamper with a winning formula? He's like, I'm an artist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I need to branch out a little bit. And it worked because this song was a pretty big hit too. Here's The Poor Side of Town, 89.5 WSKB.
How can you tell me how much you missed me? When the last time I saw you, you wouldn't even kiss me. That rich guy you've been seeing must have put you down. So welcome back, baby, to the poor side of town. To him, you were nothing but a little plaything. Not much more than an overnight fling. To me, you were the greatest thing this boy had ever found. And girl, it's hard to find nice things on the poor side of town. I can't blame you for trying. I'm trying to make it too. I got one little hang up, baby. I just can't make it without you. So tell me, are you gonna stay now? Will you stand by me, girl, all the way now? With you by my side, they can't keep us down. Together we can make it, baby, from the poor side of town. Oh, with you by my side, this world can't keep us down. Together we can make it, baby, from the poor side of town. Do, 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 ah, shoo-dee-doo-dee.
Saturdays were made for polka. Tune in to the Polka Jammer Network starting at 6 a.m. and Polka Hall of Famer Billy Bellina, Breakfast at BB at 8:30.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Christmas is a time to say I love you. Share the joys and laughter and the cheer. Christmas is a time to say I love you. And I feel that last all through the year. On the corner, carolers are singing. There's a touch of magic in the air. From grown up to minor, no one could be finer. Times are hard, but no one seems to care. Christmas Eve and all the world is watching. Santa guides his reindeer through the dark. From rooftop to chimney, from Harlem to Bimini, they will find their way into your heart. Christmas is a time to say I love you. Share the joys and laughter and good cheer. Christmas is a time to say I love you. And I feel that last all through the year. Just outside the window, snow is falling. But here beside the fire, we share the glow. The moonlight and brandy, sweet talk and candy, sentiments that everyone should know. Memories of the year that lays behind us, wishes for the year that's yet to come. And it stands to reason that good friends and season make you feel that life has just begun. Christmas is a time to say I love you. Share the joys and laughter and good cheer. Christmas is a time to say I love you. And I feel it that lasts all through the year. So spirits grow lighter and hopes are shining brighter. And you know that Christmas time is here.
Yeah, there's some Bay State rock and roll for you. Billy Squire, who should have been a bigger star than he was. Now, that was actually recorded with like on the MTV set with all the VJs and stuff being in the background vocals and the people that were clapping and everything. And it was pretty much like the staff. And a lot of them said that it's one of their favorite memories of working on MTV when Billy Squire came in and did that song. And it's not on any of his records or anything. So, I mean, it's basically you just maybe MTV had a special record or something that you had to buy to get it. But it's a song that's another Christmas song that he owns that.
Yes, he does.
That is not the Christmas song that makes me cry. That'd be weird.
Yeah, if you start turning up to this one, I'd say you'd have to get your head examined.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, somebody like that, you could say, well, yeah, that song makes me cry. Like, what? Well, yeah, I was listening to it, like, when my dog fell into, like, lava, or something, and it makes me think, all right, okay. I mean, memories are attached to songs. Actually, the second song in this next, we'll tease that. The second song in this next set is the Christmas song that makes me cry, and it's a true story.
I can get a little teary to it. It's such a pretty song, but then you start listening to the lyrics, and it's actually a tune that I can relate to.
Yeah, I think it's relatable, and it's based on a true story, and we'll tell you the story after that. This one is not a pretty song. People mistakenly think it's a love song, and Michael Stipe originally thought it was just too brutal to record. He goes, it's probably better that people naively think it's a love song and not what it's really about. It's really violent and kind of awful if you actually listen to all the words. And he goes, I didn't write the, people ask, like, well, something like that, is it based on one particular person? And he's like, I would never do that. Are you listening, Taylor Swift? You don't necessarily have to write a mean song about somebody.
He doesn't get vain?
No, he doesn't get vain. So basically, he said, I would never, ever do that. Like, if somebody made me feel this awful, I would not, write a song about it. He goes, that'd be horrible. So maybe it did happen, and he's just hiding the identity of the person. But anyway, so it's not the love song that you think it is. Here's REM and The One I Love, 89.5 WSKB.
This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. A simple prop to occupy my time. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. A simple prop to occupy my time. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. Another prop has occupied my time. This one goes out to the one I love.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
my own lover in the grocery store. The snow was falling Christmas Eve. I stole behind her in the frozen foods, and I touched her on the sleeve. She didn't recognize the face at first, but then her eyes flew open wide. She went to hug me and she spilled her purse, and we laughed until we cried. Took her groceries to the checkout stand. Food was totaled up and back. We stood there lost in our embarrassment as the conversation dragged. Went to have ourselves a drink or two, but couldn't find an open bar. We bought a six-pack at the liquor store, and we drank it in her car. We drank our dust to innocence. We drank our dust and out. And tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. She said she married her an architect, kept her warm and safe and dry. She would have liked to say she loved the man, but she didn't like to lie. I said the years had been a friend to her, and that her eyes were still as blue. In those eyes I wasn't sure if I saw doubt or gratitude. She said she saw me in the record store, and that I must be doing well. I said the audience was heavenly, but the traveling was hell. We drank our toast to innocence. We drank our toast to now. Tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. We drank our toast to innocence. We drank our toast to time. Living in our eloquence, another old lang syne. The beer was empty and our tongues were tired, and running out of things to say. She gave a kiss to me as I got out, and I watched her drive away. Just for a moment I was back at school, and felt that old familiar pain. And as I turned to make my way back home, the snow turned into rain.
Dan Fogelberg, Same Old Lang Syne. Some people say it's not a Christmas song, but he clearly mentioned at the beginning this happened on Christmas Eve.
I classify it as a Christmas song.
It's a Christmas song. And, I mean, you never hear it in June, that song.
Oh.
It's a true story. People always wanted to know about the song, but there was so much information about it. And Dan Fogelberg would never talk. He's like, no, you know, no. So after, unfortunately, Dan Fogelberg passed, a woman came forward, Jill Gerlich, I think her name was, and she said, yeah, the song was about me. I didn't really want to talk about it while he was alive. I didn't want to, cause any problems with him and his wife. But basically, yes, we were high school sweethearts, and we were both home for the holidays. And she went to the grocery store to get something, and he was sent out to get some whipped cream because he was visiting his parents, and they didn't have whipped cream. And she's like, the whole thing's a true story. There's two things that aren't true in the story. Her eyes were green, not blue, but it was an easier rhyme. It was an easier rhyme, blue, and she was not married to an architect. So then people immediately asked, well, the line that always gets me is, she would have liked to have said that she loved the man, but she didn't want to lie. They go, well, is that line true? And she's like, I'm not going to comment on that. But she had gotten divorced from that guy soon afterwards. She was just saying, amazingly, she's sitting in the car, and the radio station said, "Oh, Dan Fogelberg's new song's coming out," and she's like, "Oh, good, I can't." And as soon as she heard it, she just like, "Oh my God, this is about me." I mean, I can't imagine what that would feel like. You have an encounter with somebody, and they write a song about it. I mean, that's got to.
Yeah, it harkens me back to the one that got away. And now that I had to play it, when we're done here, I need to go have a drink.
Yeah, it's and I think that's why it resonates with a lot of people.
It's a bummer of a song.
It is, but in fact,
it's so pretty at the same time.
Yeah, it was. When I was in college, I was actually writing a movie. I'm putting this on the things that aren't going to happen. It's called Cindy College, and the song was a major inspiration for it. But basically, he realized by the end of the movie that life turned out okay for him. I mean, so most of the movie is a flashback of this. It's sort of like Annie Hall in that way, where you're watching this romance build and fall apart and build, but it's not going to work because right in the beginning of the movie, he said that he and Annie had broken up.
Right.
So this is sort of a way, with the idea I had with Cindy College was like you see him in his present life and he's happy. He's the actually store manager of the store, and his college girlfriend comes in, and they have a small encounter and stuff, and then the rest of the movie is a flashback to their college romance that builds and eventually falls apart. And he realized, because in college you see him a mess, like, oh my gosh, if it doesn't work out with this girl, my life's going to be a mess. And then you actually see him that, hey, you know what, life is fine. Life turns out.
Life happens.
Fine. So Dan Fogelberg. I wish I could have seen him in concert, because you know what? Let me tell you something. I love Dan Fogelberg, but that jerk wrote, I think there's 3 songs that get me. Fortunately, one of them you never hear. It's "Seeing You Again." Who knows? Maybe that was written about her too, but that song always gets me. And then "Believe in Me" sort of tears me up just because of a personal memory about that song.
Okay, Taylor.
So let me tell you something. I would have loved to have seen him in concert, but I don't know if I could have survived it if he had done all 3. That might have. That's the Michael parlay.
Would have been picking you up off the floor.
Ever bet on a 3-team parlay? That's just silly money.
Yeah.
But
I've actually won several box trifectas.
I have. Normally, I don't like parlays because I think it's a lot to ask to, and when you people doing 3-14 parlay. Except the only way that I think it does work is like some of these college basketball games where you have these gigantic money lines where you have to risk $800 to win $100. Right. But if you parlay, I mean, there's a bunch of these mismatches. If you parlay 3 or 4 of them together and knock that payment down to you only have to risk $350 to win $100, but all 4 of these heavy favorites have to win.
Yeah, all the planets have to align.
Yeah, that could work. And welcome to Gambling Talk.
Yeah, that's why I love being able to box a trifecta. You have an idea of what should happen, but not really sure how it will happen.
That's why, part of the things in the NFL. Excuse me, as I blow my nose after the Dan Fogelberg song. In a football game, an NFL football game, when you're getting 12 points, that's tough to say no to. I understand there's a reason why, but you see, Kansas City had trouble this week. Dallas had trouble with a underdog.
We're not going to mention New England.
No, we're not. I mean, the sins of the earlier the game really came back to haunt them. But I mean, that was just such a blatantly bad call where the guy was clearly out of bounds. That should not have been a touchdown. And then who knows what they're thinking. But I mean, for all we know, they could have lost the game in overtime. I mean, it's not like the Patriots necessarily, gave away a victory there. They gave away their chance at a victory. But the earlier sins of the game of the block punt and the having second down and 1 and not being able to punch it in. I mean, why are you passing there? Just give the ball to Stevenson 3 times and get the 7 points.
That play later on was it was quite comical if you start watching it back in the replays. I didn't watch the entire game.
If you play it with the Benny Hill theme,
exactly, that would go along great to that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we always play a song by a Massachusetts artist. We've accidentally this week going to play 2. Here's a song that you had no problem finding this one, right?
No problem.
Okay, good. This song was not a hit, and I blame everybody except me who went out and bought the record for it. And it's kind of funny when you kind of think this was the perfect name for a band, Charlie Farron and David Height. Like, what else would you name your band? Fahrenheit, But here's the thing. David Height's real name wasn't really Height. He just took that name to make the Fahrenheit thing
Well, what if his
work.
name was Celsius?
Yeah, that would have been interesting, too. I forgot what his real name was. But Charlie Farron went on to be pretty big in the Boston music scene. In fact, he was one of the guests predating American Idol. There used to be community auditions in Boston, and bands would come in, and he was one of the guests, one of the judges on that. And what's always great is Charlie Farron would always, whenever he's doing like a little set, he'll do this song, and I always love the way he introduces this song. He goes, I really love this song. It paid for my house. Even though this book that Thomas Convery gave me, the Billboard albums, this has every song imaginable in here. It doesn't have this one for some reason. I think that's quite odd. It's a great little song. Hope you like it. It's called Fool in Love, 89.5 WSKB.
Just a fool in love. Nobody falls so in love as I do, and now I fall for you, baby. We had a falling now. Nobody falls quite as hard as I do, and now I fall for you, baby. Nobody falls for girls like that anymore.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
that's a song I wish I could do karaoke. I can't do Hall & Oates.
You know, I don't think I can pull that one off.
No,
either.
I don't think I could. That was their last number one song. They had 6 number one hits, and that was their last one. And I was very, very good back then when I was that age. That I could predict very, very well if a song would go number one or not. And the first time I heard that song, I'm like, clear room. It's going number one, and it did.
And you know, it had dance. We did the version with "Dance on Your Knees."
Yes, the album version of the song. Yes.
Yeah, and for me, that's the only way I can really listen to that song where I know it. You know, that's how it was played back in the '80s to us for the first time around.
Mhm.
I believe the music video had "Dance on Your Knees."
Yes. Speaking of the video, that's what we're going to talk about with this song, "Big Bang Boom," which was a great album. And if you remember the video for it and stuff, they had like these giant drums and everything, giant drums chasing them, and they were filming at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they were locked inside a big drum for the video. And Daryl just turned to John and is like, "So this is what it's come to, huh? I mean, with these giant successes, we were trying to become big movie stars, and here we are at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're locked inside a giant drum.
Right.
This is the fame that we envisioned." In a warehouse in Queens. That's what he said. We're in a warehouse in Queens, and we're locked.
But
into it.
look what came out of it. You know, a tune that goes down in history, just like. You know, Queen, "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions" have to go together.
Oh, yeah.
Van Halen and Schroeder and "Pretty Women" have to go together. So this is another one of those songs where you just have to listen to it that way.
And I get annoyed sometimes when I hear "Head Over Heels" by Tears for Fears. I just automatically want it to go into broken like it does the album.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, it never. I remember the first time the first time I heard "When Doves Cry."
Mhm.
You know, like I would hear it on regular stations, and then somebody actually kept it playing, and I'm like,
Right.
"Oh my God, there's so much more to this song."
Yeah,
you know,
there
usually,
is.
you
Yeah.
know, you reckon, you know, the radio stations would cut it off after like 3 or 4 minutes, but I'm like, "Wow, it's still playing it," and oh my gosh, there's so much more to this song. One of my favorite songs, "Miracles" by Jefferson Starship, and I only heard the radio version, and then one day Rock 102 played the full album version, and I'm like, as much as I love that song, and I was like, there's so much more to it to love. I'm like, oh my God. I've told my...
I love it when we discover things like that.
Yeah. I mean, because like, wow, I loved it before, and now it seems weird if I hear the chopped up version of it. But you know what drives me crazy is some radio stations, like they'll just chop like a minute off. I'm like, where are we going? Play this song. Yeah. You're going to play this song, play this song. All right, this annoys me too. You know I'm not a big fan of remakes. And at work, where I work, we play a god-awful remake of this song. They even change the lyrics. So like when it gets to the part, you know, they'll say like, you know, you're my lifeline, angel of my lifetime. I yell, "Sweet Melissa!" The lyric is "Sweet Melissa."
Okay.
You've changed the lyrics on me here. So if the song is playing at work, my employees will usually hear me yell at the top of my lungs, "Sweet Melissa!" And they wonder who Sweet Melissa is. Actually, there was a rumor going around that the Sweet Melissa was Melissa Manchester.
Oh.
And that is categorically no. The song was written before Barry Manilow ever could have met Melissa Manchester. Now, Barry Manilow was in a little band called Feather Bed, which was basically studio musicians, and they were friends of Tony Orlando. So the first version of this...
not Dawn?
Not Dawn.
Okay.
So the first version of the song was a very Tony Orlando-ish. You can actually look it up, Featherbed, a version of the song. And it is so Tony Orlando all over it. And Barry Manilow did not like it. He wrote this beautiful song, and so finally when he went on his own, he remade his own song in the way he wanted it to sound. And it's absolutely beautiful the way it is, and I just hate that we at work we play this god-awful remake. Here's Could It Be Magic, 89.5 WSKB.
Thank you. Spirit, move me every time I'm near you, whirling like a cyclone in my mind. Sweet Melissa, angel of my lifetime, answer to all answers I can find. Baby, I love you. Come, come, come into my arms. Let me know the wonder of all of you. And baby, I want you now, 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 and hold on fast. Could this be the magic at last? Lady, take me high upon a hillside, high up where the stallion meets the sun. I could love you, build my world around you, never leave you till my life is done. Baby, I love you. Come, come, come into my arms. Let me know the wonder of all of you. And baby, I want you now, now, oh now, oh now, and hold on fast. Could this be the magic at last? Could it be magic? Come, come
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Lady love never smiles, so lend your love to me a while. Do with me what you will. Break the spell, take your fill.
So there's a girl in this video, and she's playing the harp, which is weird because there's no harp in the song. I guess it's, the visualization and everything. But her name is Perry Lister, and we saw her again in a couple of Billy Idol videos because basically Billy was dating her. And I don't know. I guess maybe you don't have to...
she gets around.
Yeah, it's funny. That's happened a couple times. Girls made careers, like the girl in Do You Think I'm Sexy, Rod Stewart.
Mhm.
She was the girl 5 years later, the hot teacher, Hot for Teacher by Van Halen. So if you got the look, you got the look. And you got
yes,
yeah,
I remember
yep,
her.
Yep. And yes, we were 14 at the time when Hot for Teacher came out, right? So yeah, we remember her fondly. So Perry Lister, if she did look a little familiar in that video, because yes, you saw her in Billy Idol videos too. Now we've all had little pet peeves, and Christina Aguilera, one of her pet peeves is the fact that if men they get to brag about their prowess and their conquest and stuff, and women are looked down upon for doing that. So she wanted to come up with a song that attacked the double standard about that. And this is the result. Here's Can't Hold Us Down, 89.5 WSKB.
So, what am I not supposed to have an opinion? Should I keep quiet just because I'm a woman? Call me a bitch cause I speak what's on my mind. Guess it's easier for you to swallow if I sat and smile. When a female fires back, suddenly they talk and don't know how to act. So here's what any little boy would do, making up a few false rumors or two. That for sure is not a man to me. It's smattering names for popularity. He says you only get to me through controversy, but now it's time for me to come and give you more to say. This is for my girls all around the world. Cause the men that don't respect your worth, thinking all women should be seen like her. So what do we do, girl? Shout out loud, letting them know we're gonna stand our ground. Put your hands high and wave them proud. Take a deep breath and say, never can, never will, can't hold us down. Nobody can hold us down. Nobody can hold us down. Nobody can hold us down. Never can, never will. So, what am I not supposed to say what I'm saying? Are you offended with the message I'm bringing? Call me whatever, cause your words don't mean a thing. Cause you ain't even a man enough to handle what I say. If you look back at history, it's a common double standard of society. The guy can tell the club, the more he can score, while the girl can do the same and yet you call her a whore. Now, I don't understand why it's okay. The guy can get away with it, the girl gets named. All my ladies come together and make a change. And start a new beginning for us, everybody say. For my girls all around the world.
I just can't understand. If a guy have 3 girls, then he's the man. He could even give us some head and sex or raw. If a girl do the same, then she's a whore. But the table's about to turn. I bet my fame wanted cats take my ideas and put their name on it. It's alright though, you can't hold me down. I got to keep on moving. To all my girls, for the man who be trying to knack, do it right back to him and let that be that. You need to let him know that his game is whack. And little Kim and Christina Aguilera got you back.
So cute, so cold. You must talk so big to make up for small things. Just years ago. You must talk so big to make up for small things. This is for my girls around the world. Respect your word. What do we do, girl? Shout out it. Stand up.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Oh, yeah, quickly. That's the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Basically, these guys are hanging out in New York like, this is crazy. One block over, we have rock musicians. A block over, we've got, like, opera singers. And it's too bad we just all can't get together and put something together. And that's how the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
You got your chocolate and my peanut butter.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what a great show. If you get the chance to see them, you've got to go see them. It's just unbelievable.
Yes.
It's a great show. That's the show. Hopefully you learned something. Did you learn something?
I learned something.
I am Michael Buster McMahon. Drink your milk, look both ways before crossing the street, and never, ever give up your dreams. That's my buddy in there, Ken Stomsky. Say goodbye, Kenny.
Goodbye, Kenny.
We like to end with something fun, and here's a Christmas song that I have done in many talent shows in high school, in college, and in the real world. Its real name is The Jolliest Fat Man. I just call it the Lenny and Squiggy Christmas song. We'll see you. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Mwah!
Christmas is a special time for everybody. Be they rich or poor, pretty or ugly.
So in case any of you are thinking of jumping up here on the stage, remember, we can get pretty ugly.
It was Christmas Eve night at the poorhouse, and all of the paupers were there. I stepped in because it was snowing, and snow always screws up my hair. By the pot-bellied stove sat a pot-bellied man. He spoke with some lumps in his throat. His story was sad, and his diction was bad. And here is the song that he wrote. I once was the jolliest fat man, with roses in all of my cheeks. I'd load up my sled every Christmas and go on a drunk for 2 weeks. My friends said they saw me on rooftops and sliding down chimneys at dawn. With my reindeer in hand, I would glide across the land and wake up on somebody's lawn. One morning, my wife left this message. Each Christmas I've spent by myself. I'm sick of your stupid traditions, so I've run off to Spain with an elf. Just then the old man started dying. He screamed, "May the Lord take my soul." We went through his wallet to see who he was. His address read simply, North Pole. So the next time you go by the poorhouse, if by the poorhouse you go, just take off your hat to a dead guy who's fat and whisper a silent,